I am here today at the Franciscan Renewal Center in Paradise Valley, Arizona, which has been providing opportunities for spiritual growth, healing, transformation, and service to others for nearly 70 years. And it's the perfect setting and location for my talk today. A legacy of love for a world in need. The goals and objectives for today's talk. For each of us to reframe the way we look at life with a wider and more powerful lens. That each one of us leave here today creating our own legacy of love in new and radical ways. Remember, life is about the journey, and finally, for all of us to realize our gifts and to share our blessings for a better world. Today's title is about the story of a man who knew and lived his passion and purpose in extraordinary ways. Ways we should all strive for in our lives. He made the lives of millions of people where he lived, in our country and across the globe, better through his compassion and empathy. He formed and financed organizations and was present each day, providing for the forgotten and the impoverished, giving them the God-given rights for food, clothing, shelter, clean water, and especially hope in their lives and the lives of their children. Many people, including myself, believe he was a hero for our world. And if you look at his resume, I promise you will agree. He died almost 10 years ago, but his legacy of love lives on in places like Haiti, Rwanda, Mexico, Malawi, and here in the U.S. He was named Time Magazine Philanthropist of the Year, and he was featured on the Today Show Christmas morning segment in 2004 with a very young-looking Katie Couric and Lester Holt. You will probably not know who he is, because a true hero is always humble and needs no ego, power, or attention for success. It is a message we should all take away from today's talk. His name is Tom White, and I was blessed to have been a part of his life during his last few years as a caregiver. And he gave me a passion and purpose to be the very best version of myself, even though I was a little jealous of how much money he gave away so freely. And by the early 2000s, he was called by many of our country's wealthiest titans of industry to counsel and guide them in how to give away their fortunes while living a comfortable life. And from the day I met Tom, he immediately made me feel important, and he treated me like a friend. His health was poor, and he was in pain every day. But each morning, I would arrive, and I would see him in his familiar and unimpressive lounge chair, and he greeted me as his friend. Most of the time, he was on the phone, wheeling and dealing to make other people's lives better, even after he'd given away most of his fortune. Now, those are qualities for all of us to have, especially those of us with power and influence. I am still amazed and humbled how he treated everyone with dignity. One thing I will always remember was his contact list. I updated it for him and was in awe of typing the names and addresses and phone numbers of people like Bill Gates and Ted Kennedy, to name a few, along with religious leaders, boards of directors, and so many others. I will never have a job like that again, but appreciate it to this day. And I'm finally sharing his passion and purpose with you. As they say, better late than never. So here I am. I can never change the world like Tom did, but together today, we all can create our legacy of love, inspired by a man whose mission was to die broke and who found the magic elixir of life in a phrase he quoted often: the more I give, the happier I am.